Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, joined by co-host Jeff.
Marky Mark, what happened? Oh, I didn't mean to make that pun. That just happened right there. What's up, Mark? How you doing?
You know, it's another gorgeous day in the House of Draft. Jeff, you can't see it because our video's not live right now, but unless you're on YouTube. Well, it's still not live on YouTube. But anyways, I'm pointing behind me where you can see a painting of chiseled me in a
as a mermaid
in mermaid form. Yeah,
good.
It's delicious. Anyways,
I agree. I want a copy for the House of movie over here.
Yeah, Joe, tell the folks what the theme is this year and what we watched.
Yeah, if you don't know, we're doing 1 degree of separation this year. Each film shares one thing with the previous, be it an actor, a director, a writer sometimes. And when we're desperate, we get real deep and, find some shit that doesn't make sense, which I almost did. But Mark talked me out of it. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So this week we watched The Fighter, which stars... Man, how did you link this up?
All right.
I don't even remember.
I got it pulled up. So last week we reviewed the movie Nope.
Yes.
The Jordan Peele film. And I took that dive into the IMDb listing, and I discovered that the cinematographer on this film is Hoyt van Hoytema.
Okay.
And he also was the cinematographer on this week's film.
So I want to make a rule call now, and I haven't done it yet, but I was tempted to. But okay. I think when we go to cinematographer and, I was doing stunt coordinator, maybe we get one, right?
Okay. That's fine.
All right. So I have one if I need it.
Sure.
But I think you're done.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, so you get a mulligan after your stunt coordinator?
No, because we didn't do stunt coordinator. You talked me out of it.
Oh, that's right. Okay. You're right. Okay. I got you.
You made me switch to Nope.
I'm
just thinking because it gets a bit muddy at that point.
Sure.
I was thinking, I'm like, this was made by Paramount, and our next movie's made by Paramount. It's just.
I mean, he's an actual person. He's a human being, and he's the only cinematographer on the film. So sometimes you have.
I think it's fair. I'm not complaining about it.
Sure.
I'm just saying.
I get it.
Even though I started it, it's a little outside of what the intention was.
So, what is the movie this week?
The Fighter. But how did the cinematographer is what you did? That's right. From 2010, runs for an hour 56. It stars Christian Bale, Mark Wahlberg, Amy Adams, and a host of others. But those are your big three. It's directed by David O. Russell, and that's pretty much it. It did win 2 Oscars.
Yep.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I thought it was Christian Bale, and then
Christian won 1.
Yeah, and then what was the other one?
Melissa Leo.
Oh, best supporting actress. Okay.
Was that the mom?
Yeah, that was the mom. But
that makes sense.
Really quick. Here's a list of the producers on this film. Darren Aronofsky, executive producer.
That doesn't mean anything. That just means he brought the money.
Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah, well, okay, that does mean a lot. It means he fucking...
And Bob Weinstein.
So that's what I was thinking with the Weinstein thing when I was watching the movie is I was like, I can link up this movie to just about anything because of the Weinsteins.
Yeah.
So
yeah, no,
not going to do it today.
I just thought it was interesting. I just saw that when I went to find this guy's cinematographer's name, but it just everything in Hollywood boils down to what you just said: the money, who brought the money, and there's only a few people in Hollywood that have an exorbitant amount of money that they can kind of fund whatever they want, and the Weinsteins were. Or Harvey Weinstein was one of those people. He's not so much anymore, but
Bob is still doing things.
Bob is still doing things.
They probably changed the name from the Weinstein Company, though. I would imagine
they're now called A24.
It wouldn't. Well, I mean, that would surprise me, but that's a heck of a rebrand if true.
Worse moves have been made.
That's a smart move.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, if I were Bob Weinstein, I'd have to rebrand.
No, 100%. You can't share a name with this pariah now. But
you ever seen the SNL skit about Harvey Epstein? So there's a guy running for office of some sort of office in New York City. His name's Harvey Epstein, and it's a real guy. And then SNL did a skit on it about how he's like, this name is just an albatross. It's pretty funny if you can look it up.
It's terrible. It's a cross between a lot of terrible people.
He's like, I am neither this guy or this guy. He's like, Harvey I could deal with, but Epstein?
The Epstein files. I swear I'm not in the Epstein files. My name is Epstein, but I'm not there. Anyways,
you know how you could prove that? By getting them released if you weren't in them. That's just me. I'm not in them. Release them, bitches.
You're right. I would just like to know who is. Anyways, had you ever seen The Fighter?
No, I had not. I'd seen the trailer maybe, and I saw the poster a bunch. And when it comes to Mark Wahlberg, I like him in a good action movie. He's actually pretty good in comedies, but when it comes to his serious roles, I'm not my favorite. I mean, I know people like to point to The Departed, but that's just him being pissed off the whole time, and he's great at that. Fantastic even. But when it comes to his drama roles, it's a bit of his whispery tone. Oh no, what? That scene from The Happening sort of plays in my mind a bunch when he does various inflections, and it happened a couple times in this movie. So I don't rush out to go see Mark Wahlberg dramas.
Yeah. Well, and
so this isn't the type of movie I rush out and see.
Sure. No, I understand that. I'm a big Mark Wahlberg fan. That's probably too much, but I'm a Mark Wahlberg fan. I'm not a big Mark Wahlberg fan, but I do like most things that he's in. I do think that he is kind of that. This is going to sound bad, but I almost think he's kind of timeless as a movie star, because he's found this corner of Hollywood that he can stay in forever and make the same type of movies, and they don't really get old, right? Like
I said, he's got a lot of there's action movies, there's drama movies, there's comedies, and he just kind of exists there, and no one, like, he can have a bomb and it doesn't matter. Like, he can be in Max Payne, which we watched, and it's horrible, and he could just keep coming back. He's and sort of invincible in that way. It's crazy.
And I do think it's because he has a likable personality, and I think Will Smith was that way up until the past 3 years, and there's these certain actors that are movie star, what I would classify as a movie star, and Mark Wahlberg's kind of on the bottom half of list of actors in Hollywood that are movie stars. You talk about Tom Cruise, Will Smith, Brad Pitt, The Rock is a movie star. I think Mark Wahlberg is in that category of actor that can just do anything, and the movie, it may not do well, but he's not terrible in it. And I think that's that's his career. I just think he's a this type of role where he is a this is not an action movie, but it is a physically demanding film from him.
Yes.
And, I'm watching the trailers, not trailer, but it's like kind of behind the scenes. It's playing right now on IMDb, and it's showing him actually training, with a boxer or a boxing trainer. But I didn't hate his acting here. Some movies his acting is like meh, but I thought he was better than probably 80% of the films I've seen him in this movie, and so I didn't think he was terrible in it. I do think that he was probably the worst, not the worst, the weakest acting link in the film. But
so here's his big problem. He's acting across from Christian Bale, just fucking nailing it.
Oh,
like
I agree.
This is
Christian Bale giving his like magnum opus of performances.
Is a different level. Like I was watching, I'm like, damn, this guy can act.
Yeah,
like transforming into a new character. Like, and there's times where I watch movies and all I see is Christian Bale,
right.
But it's really special when you forget you're watching someone and they just become the character. And that's what happens here. This is one of his best performances I've ever seen.
I think it's his best performance. And I've
never seen things like The Machinist where he's super skinny and shit.
Oh, his acting's really good. I mean, he's a really good actor, but
right.
He's one of these guys that transforms his body. I mean, there's whole memes about it on the internet, but like,
yeah. Well, we've seen Vice where he was Dick Cheney, and unrecognizable now. Oh, I love that movie. I'm gonna pick it for next week.
But you can kind of set your clock by the Christian Bale calendar of, is he doing an action film where he's really ripped? Is he doing a comedy? Well, he's kind of overweight. Is he giving the performance of his career? Well, he's super skinny and he looks like he's on drugs. Because he probably was. I don't know. It would not shock.
He wasn't acting. He was on hardcore crack cocaine.
It would not shock me that that Christian Bale was on.
What if he was so method that this character shows up late to shit that he just started showing up late to shoots? Like just that method. Yeah. I was at a crack house.
Right.
Sorry.
I just. And so this.
I think that's taking it too far. If you go to a crack house to play a crackhead, you might be taking it too far.
I mean,
that's just me.
There were talks that Daniel Day-Lewis was, volleying about the idea of, hey, just shoot me in the back of the head and let's see if I can take it. When he was on the set of Lincoln, so I don't know. It was
that bad idea, right? So I'm watching the training video that you said came up for you, and the guy training him is the real Dick Eklund.
Yeah,
that's
which is cool. And he's also an extra in the movie.
Awesome.
But
is he? I didn't see him. Of course, I didn't know what he looked like at the time. It was when I went to watch other things later, and then at the end of the movie, they show you both Dick Eklund and Mickey.
Well, and so the film is about these two brothers, Mickey and Dickie Eklund, but they
creative. Well, he's not Eklund; he's Ward.
So
they have different fathers.
Yeah. And so, which makes sense because they don't really dive into the backstory here in the movie, but that makes sense why.
Well, there's a moment where their mom is explaining, I was with him, and then I had this one, and then I was with that guy, and I had this one.
Yeah.
So like her current husband is Mickey's dad.
Yes,
and then like some other guy,
which makes sense, is because that's why.
Right.
Mickey's dad, who is very recognizable. I don't know his name, but he's been in a ton of stuff. That's why he's very close with Mickey, but doesn't really care too much about Dickie. And I noticed that through the film, and I was wondering, in my mind, I was like, damn, wonder if he's just kind of given up on Dickie because he's kind of this cancerous person now.
Yeah.
And he's just focused on Mickey. But it makes sense that if, he's not Dickie's dad, he's Mickey's dad. But I mean,
and so that's
it makes complete sense. But like, you talk about like great actors across the board. I mean, Melissa Leo, I mean, she's fantastic. Amy Adams, fantastic. And like, you just got this cast of just really, really good actors set in this, this kind of like little pocket of Boston. They're in Boston, right?
There's somewhere around there. That's
Yeah.
the accent anyway.
Right. And so it's, and this is Dickie's movie, even though Mark Wahlberg as Mickey is the main character. It's really Dickie's movie. It's because everything happens because of Dickie. And I thought that was a unique way to tell this story.
Yeah.
Because, like, when we are first introduced to Dickie and he's in the crack house, and he's reliving this boxing match that he had however long ago, and he's recreating the scene. And at first, I thought it was Mickey that was fighting what's his face in the ring.
Oh, the next guy, because he kept talking about he's in this HBO documentary about his comeback.
Right. I thought it was Mickey.
We find out it ain't about that.
Right. And you know, it was just, it's kind of cool to see the dynamic, and I thought Mark Wahlberg and Christian Bale had really good chemistry as brothers, even though they don't share a ton of scenes together, which I thought was also weird.
Yeah. So the movie that he was in, the documentary, is called High on Crack.
That's original.
Yeah. So, but this little crack house they're in looks just like it. Or maybe this is a different one. No, that's Dickie. Okay. Anyway, yeah.
No, it's and you know, David O. Russell, he's been around for a while. I've seen probably most of the movies he's
there's
done.
one I'm guaranteeing you haven't seen.
I've seen American Hustle. I've seen Silver Linings Playbook. That one was pretty good. I think I saw Three Kings. That also had Mark Wahlberg in it. But
yeah, I've seen Three Kings.
You know, I mean, he's a good director. He's good with that surface level stuff. The street, just kind of like these family dynamics. Like Silver Linings Playbook is also a family dynamic movie. And so I think it's really he does a good job at telling these stories. But I just, like, every time I go back to thinking about this movie, I just think about Christian Bale's performance and how the entire movie revolves around him. Every kind of move that Mickey makes, whether it's in his personal life or his boxing life, it's based off of something that Dickie has either said or done. And it's a unique perspective, is because I don't really remember last film I saw that the main character was steered so much by a supporting character.
Right.
And so it's
I think
it's a really good dynamic.
Yeah, I think the movie does a great job of really being nuanced in what the antagonist is. And I say what because it's not necessarily a who.
Right.
And initially it's this family, right? This family's pretty toxic.
Yeah.
And Mickey's young and the family is kind of steering him in the wrong direction. And a lot of their motivations are for themselves as opposed to for Mickey. Like they show it where he's fighting a guy who's way above his weight class, and they're like, you'll be fine. If you don't do it, we don't get paid. And yet it's very dangerous for him to be in there. But then after, Dickie goes to jail and comes out, Dickie has learned, mostly because actually he gets Mickey sets boundaries on Dickie. And it's like, yeah, you're not allowed to be my trainer anymore. And then it's really kind of this growth of Mickey where he decides, actually, I want my brother at my side. And he has to set boundaries with Amy Adams and everyone else. But of course, Dickie has to go prove himself. So it's really nuanced. And I think it does a great job of kind of showing, like, the benefit of setting boundaries and the benefit of taking care of yourself and navigating that and how it's tough, and you're always going to offend someone, but you need to kind of watch out for yourself. And I think the film did a great job of that.
Yeah. I mean, the film itself was nominated for 7 Academy Awards. 1, 2, but David Russell got a nomination for Best Director. Amy Adams also got a nomination for Best Actress. And it was also nominated for Best Picture and Best Achievement in Film Editing and Original Screenplay. So quite clearly, I mean, films don't just get nominated for 7 Academy Awards without being one of the best of the year. And I think this movie, I mean, pretty much, I mean, it's held together by the performances, but it's also the way it's shot, right? And the way it's, it is a good story. I very much cared about, I found myself caring more about Dickie, and him getting kind of sober in jail, and then realizing that the documentary they were making was a complete shit on him fest.
Not what is. I also think he probably had it in his mind. Like, they probably told him, like, yeah, we're looking at crack in America. He's like, you guys just want to see my comeback. That's what this is,
yeah.
And that's just, he's kind of delusional at that point. Like the whole Sugar Ray Leonard, I knocked him down, and then it just pretty much, you find out
he tripped.
And he tripped. You didn't really knock down Sugar Ray Leonard.
Right. Which, I mean, it's funny. I mean, Dickie has this like picture of himself in his head, and
yeah,
but we know he's a capable boxer. He was at one time. Is because Mickey is a capable boxer, and so Dickie training Mickey kind of just tells us that, hey, we don't need to see Dickie fight, like in a ring, other than the flashbacks to the Sugar Ray Leonard match, but we just know that, hey, we're told he knocked down Sugar Ray Leonard, and we kind of see that, and then he's training Mickey, and so it's a really smart way to tell the audience that, hey, he's capable, even though he looks like a drug addict, he's capable, and so that was kind of the first, like, kind of, oh, hey, I this guy's credible. The
right.
character is credible, and so that allowed me to buy into who the character was, and then him being so, I guess, elated that HBO was doing this documentary on him, and it kind of his happy-go-lucky persona, while he's high and just not having really a care, is because he's allowed himself to think that, hey, I'm on the come up, right? HBO's after me, and my brother, I'm training my brother, and he's gonna have a big fight soon, and it just, Christian Bale, it's so nuanced that there's one scene, and I it's towards the beginning to middle of the movie, where Christian Bale, it's when he was late and he's looking for the car, and he runs outside of the crack house, and his eyes are so sunken, or I mean, the appearance of his eyes are so sunken into his head. I mean, he absolutely looks like a drug addict, and I mean, it was just like I was kind of taken aback when he was in front of the camera. It's because maybe it was the lighting, maybe it was just like, oh my God, and this is directly after The Dark Knight, where Christian Bale was, or maybe it was shredded after The Dark Knight Rises. I forget. It was after one of the Batman movies, and so Christian Bale went from that to this, and I'm like, it was such a transformation in his body. and I want to say that this movie was probably shot between the Dark Knight and the Dark Knight Rises, is because when Christian Bale comes out of jail, he's kind of jacked, a little bit. You can tell that his body is different than when he went in, and so it's just kind of a cool little tidbit of how, like, the timing of the movie is because, like, it's hard to wrap your brain around how somebody could go from being so jacked to looking like he does in the beginning and middle of this movie and be like, that can't be good for your body.
Well, and it was just one scene where he had his shirt off, so they could have just filmed that, and whenever they had the chance, do a pickup on it, and there we got it.
Well, I mean, and that's sometimes how movies are made. They're shot around the actor's schedule, and so this movie probably was filmed around Christian Bale's schedule. And I imagine Mark Wahlberg probably got this role based on his performance in The Departed, because I think The Departed was in like 2005, 2006.
Yeah.
And so it's not far-fetched to think that I think David O. Russell saw that and was like, well, maybe he can act. But I mean, I don't know what he did between that, but...
right. There's some really funny moments in this, too, like where they really push into the comedy a little bit. My favorite of which is whenever he's leaving the crack house, he jumps out the back window into this pile of trash. And it happens near the beginning of the movie, and then later on in the movie, his mom's coming to get him, and it just instantly snap cuts to him falling out of the window.
Yeah, and
I thought it was really good, really funny. Despite the fact the context is he's an addict leaving the crack house, but I will say too, because I've been critical on other movies, I think this is like one of the best representations of substance abuse and how it affects people that I've seen in a movie. Like it really nails it, and well researched, I'm guessing, but it just felt real to me as someone who's been around substance abuse.
Yeah, I mean it's your depiction of, or not your depiction, but it's a depiction of how substance abuse, regardless of the substance, can rip at the dynamics of a family and a household without, like Dickie is somebody that needs to be watched over. He, in this movie, he's not somebody that is so destructive that, like, you kind of got to kick him. You just got to cut him loose and let him figure it out. He's just somebody that is continuously, like, self-sabotage type things. And, even the fight scene with the cops where he's, which I thought was the most hilarious, one of the more hilarious parts of the movie, is that Dickie is acting as a undercover cop and stealing money from
whoop, whoop. Yeah.
And then the cops pull up and he thinks he's gonna outrun them, and so, like, I just think that, like, that is probably your most common type of substance abuse issue, is the self-sabotage of substance abuse, and it's not always how some movies portray it as, this person is just completely, I can't even associate with this person. I have to, cut them out of my life. It's more, oh my God, Dickie needs me again, or, oh my God, I have to do this for Dickie again. I relied on Dickie and he didn't show up. And I just think that's probably a more accurate portrayal of the issues that arise from somebody in your close circle having problems.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much sums it up. That's how I would put it. So
the the end fight, and you shared a YouTube video with me, but And I didn't watch it all because
no,
I didn't watch it all. I watched the first 10 minutes, and then I figured out it was a 20-minute video, and I was like, oof. But
can't sit through that. Even though you almost made us watch fucking whatever that was called, Heisenberg, or what was it called?
Oppenheimer.
That's the one.
Which I still think you'll enjoy.
Nope, I quit.
But anyway, no. I thought the end fight with whatever the guy's name was pretty good. I mean, he really doesn't do like Mickey doesn't really do anything for most of the fight until the very end, and that was kind of the thing was that he was getting pulled in different directions about how he should approach the fight, and he kind of just took a lot of what Dickie and then the other older guy trainer that was helping him, and kind of just molded it and made it his thing, and I thought that was a good moment for his characters because he had been so reliant on these different people to kind of steer him, and then to see him actually, I guess, use his own talent to win the fight at the end. I thought it was a good ending, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. So the video I sent Mark was about a trilogy of matches. Let me see if I can find it's between Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward, which I don't really like boxing. I find it dull and boring. But the way those two guys fought,
oh yeah,
fucking hell.
Well, yeah, no, that showed me that Mickey was a good fighter.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg he's pretty accurate with the resemblance. I think sometimes you get somebody
within reason.
Yeah, you get somebody that doesn't look anything like the actual person, but I think he does look somewhat like him.
Yeah, really interesting person that I've never heard of because I'm not a boxing fan, and honestly, I could probably name 7 boxers. 3 of which were Mike Tyson.
One for each of his personalities.
I could name Lennox Lewis, Buster Douglas, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Macho Camacho. I could probably get up to 10 maybe if I sit and think about it.
Better than
I'm not
me.
going to bore anyone. Arturo Gatti, Mickey Ward, I can now name.
Dickie Ward or Dickie Eklund.
Dickie Ward. Dickie Eklund, yeah. Lennox Lewis, Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Smoking Joe. I did say Joe Frazier already, didn't
You did.
I?
Yeah. Evander Holyfield.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Evander Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Lennox Lewis again.
What's the Hispanic guy?
Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah.
And then what was the guy who was like undefeated
the
for
Filipino
ages?
guy. I think he was Filipino.
Yeah, I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
But he was like undefeated for ages.
Yeah.
So that's about all I know.
That's all you need. And Mickey Ward was it wasn't like he was some heavyweight. It was he fought for, and I guess it's accurate that he won a championship, but it was for a what is it, welterweight?
Welterweight, yeah.
And so like he wasn't really this like big time boxer. He had a good career, I think, but it just like one of this type of story isn't like, it's not like we're learning about Mike Tyson here, right? Or we're learning about Evander Holyfield or Muhammad Ali. We're talking about a guy from Boston that had good success as a boxer, and that was about it.
Yep, it's an interesting story. I really enjoyed this, and there are many times, where I just am not in the mood to watch whatever movie we have this week, and this was one of those. I'm like, I don't like a drama, just doesn't get me out of bed, and I'm glad that we did watch it because I think this is spectacular and definitely at this point would be in my top 5 for the year, I think.
Okay.
Maybe.
So it's safe to say you do recommend this one.
Yeah, this is an easy one to recommend. I mean, Christian Bale is on a different level in this movie. And that's from someone who's seen a fair amount of Christian Bale movies, and he's a great actor in most of them, if not all of them. This is the best I've seen.
Yeah. Same. It's one of the best movies we've watched this year. I'm going to recommend it. It'll be interesting, man. There's going to be a lot of films that get left off of the top 5 that would easily be top 5 in any other year.
I agree.
But such goes the list when you're watching good movies all year. So, what are we watching?
Well, we had a good streak of balls as well.
We call it the summer of balls.
Summer of balls, perfect.
As it was.
As we wind down August here,
we're getting back
out of the summer of balls.
Yeah, we're getting back into the good movies. So anyways,
like we offset, the summer blockbusters with just ass fudge here on the pod. That's what we do.
Ass fudge. But what's not ass fudge is the next movie we're watching.
Oh, are you sure?
I don't know.
So I, before we started recording, I said, "Hey, Mark, I'm looking at these movies." I said, "There's one of them that's really fucked. I've heard about. I haven't seen it." And Mark immediately goes, "Let's do it." I'm like, "Okay." So I won't take 100% of the blame for this. Now, I'm still the one with the choice, and I still am making this decision knowing what we're about to watch. So I definitely still deserve a bulk of the blame, but any blame you heap on me next week is shared among you. For every 3 fingers you point my way, 1 is pointing back at you, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
So I'm gonna take a guess of
go ahead.
You picked a David O. Russell movie.
I certainly did. Hopefully you haven't read the synopsis.
I haven't read any synopsis. I'm just thinking back in the beginning of the pod, you I said you haven't seen any bad movies or whatever. It's like, well, this could be good. I don't know. Right? But I saw this. I was on a YouTube page. It was like, you guys recommended me your fucked up movies. And this came up. And I was like, yeah, that is fucked. But here we go. Okay.
So this is directed by David O. Russell. Please don't read the synopsis, Mark. Everyone else, you probably want to before you go into it.
I can't read it until I watch it?
That's what I recommend.
Okay.
I'd like to know your thoughts going in blind, because I'm not going in blind. I'd like to see how you feel afterwards.
Okay.
And maybe skip watching this with Kathy. But it's up to you. But don't tell her I picked it. So we're going to watch a David O. Russell film, which the only person I recognize in this is Jeremy Davies, who I mostly know from Lost. He's been in some other things. Doesn't matter. It's a movie called Spanking the Monkey. So
it's got a 6.3 on IMDb. It can't be that bad.
Yeah. It's not a question of quality, I think. It's more of content.
Okay.
So prepare your butthole.
So I can't know anything about the movie until I watch it.
I highly recommend going in blind.
All right.
Because
it's going to be tempting, but I won't do it.
It's up to you. You are an adult and you make your own decisions, and it's not one of the rules of the podcast that you go in completely blind. But however, for this film, I would like to have your reaction as someone who's watching it with no foreknowledge.
And today I learned that David O. Russell's follow-up to Spanking the Monkey is a movie called Flirting with Disaster, starring Ben Stiller, that I've never seen.
Yeah, I've heard of it, never seen it. So
and he looks
feel free to
young
read that
as
synopsis.
Shit. It's a young man. His wife and his incompetent caseworker travel across the country to find his birth parents. From 1996.
Yeah, I have no interest in that. But here we are.
Here we are. Oh, okay. All right. Well, also where we're at is on the YouTube, where if you're watching, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future content right here on the channel. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, we're at Movie Draft House. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Jeff, tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on the internet. I have two other podcasts, one of which is called All Things Being Sequel, where we're currently working our way through the Critters films. I think the first episode of that will come out it should come out next week, maybe. I don't remember. Time is weird when you record out of order.
Yeah.
And then you can also check out chronologically. We're in the midst of our 90s season on Stephen King. So catch up on those wherever you get your pods.
Jeff, any last words?
Don't read the synopsis.